Hi and welcome back to our Okinawan Kempo YouTube channel, showcasing some techniques of Kiyojute Ryu. We're in the midst of a series on demonstrating the different principles of our Ryu responding to three very common attacks: a roundhouse punch, a lunge punch, and a front kick. Now, we've been going around the circle and talking about that, how you come to the dojo with go, so you have some strength, and we teach you to use it effectively. You move around the circle to Ju, where you learn to defeat your opponent by yielding to him. We refine the Ju into Aiki, where you're actually borrowing the attacker's energy and returning it to them to defeat them. And if you are able to perfect that unity, perfect that harmony, you're doing In-Yoho, as expressed in our Taijutsu, where we've actually taken the opposing forces and merged them into a singularity. I encourage you to go back and look at all those videos to feel the different flavors of those arts as applied to this technique. With that said, all of that takes a lot of patience. Teaching someone to throw a front kick to the knee is pretty simple. Teaching someone to perfectly blend with a roundhouse punch and keep them moving forward and project them away from you with perfect timing, that takes years of training. And patience is expressed in our Kempo Bugei as Ninjutsu. Nin can mean to endure, Nin can mean stealth, and Nin can mean patience. And the advanced study of the martial arts certainly requires that. Now, Nimpo is one of our Kobujutsu arts, and that means there is no set curriculum and there are no black belt ranks. Everything is done through the old Minkyo system of licensing rank. And probably so much, guys. I could not begin to say all the things that you learn in Ninjutsu. But for our purposes tonight, we're doing combatives, and combatives in our Nin is Taijutsu, expressed in Chijutsu, Suijutsu, Kajutsu, Fujutsu, and Kinjutsu, the 5 elements. Tonight specifically, we're going to look at an earth defense, a water defense, and a metal defense. Again, as we do this, none of these are techniques with names. The idea is that you have studied Go and Ju and Aiki and Taijutsu. You know a lot about striking and grappling. In the Kobujutsu, you begin trying to create new things, new to you at least, based on your prior learning. And that's what we're going to do this evening. So first, we are going to defend against the roundhouse punch. I'm going to be doing our defenses tonight largely from Gasho because we teach that ninjutsu came from the temple. So this is a non-aggressive, almost pleading position to be in. As she throws her roundhouse punch, I'm going to spring off and strike her arm with Koppo. Now, in perfect universe, I would drop that hammer at 90 degrees into a bone or into a nerve point. If that doesn't happen perfectly, it would just become a block with the arm. From there, I'm going to take my other fist and snap that into her temple, which that's pretty solid by itself. I then blend two jujutsu techniques. I'm doing a head hook, like in Koshiguruma, and a hip sweep, as in Haragoshi, and I would use that to toss her to the ground. So again, we don't worry about naming that move. It's a koshinagi, it's a hip throw, a body throw that takes her down to the earth, and that's what our Chijutsu is about. Let's do that again. And down to the ground. Next, we look at the potential of the lunge punch. Now this time I'm going to do something a little bit different and spring off, and rather than koppo, dropping that hammer on her bones and her nerves, I'm going to do a kaishi. and just with the open hand, smack and punish the arm. Not lethal, it just stings a little bit. From that strike, I'm going to come down and capture her hand, and then perform kotagaeshi as I fold her head down to the ground. And again, this would be performed, remember, Suijutsu is water, so I would do this as fluidly as I can, trying to continue her in that direction. One more time. And away. Finally, Kinjutsu is represented in Nin as weaponry. And again, consult the laws of your state about what is legal to have, carry, and use in a self-defense situation. Obviously, to use a weapon on someone, that's a very high threshold for threat. But if I feared for my life, I could acquire an object, I could take out my tactical pin, or knife, or club, or whatever was at hand. So for this last one, she's gonna throw that front kick. I'm just gonna barely dodge, and I'm gonna cut her leg. From cutting the leg, I'm gonna come up and slice her neck. From slicing her neck, I'm going to go into the eye or the throat to finish. All right, let's do that again. Again, ninjutsu is so rich. The training is very diverse and wonderful. Techniques of crawling, leaping, dodging, hanging, climbing, all of which are excellent training for the body. The 5 elements demonstrated in part in what we're doing here tonight. There's just so much that comprises this system. Really, all of the 10 principles we're talking about can stand alone as martial arts systems in their completeness. They have their emphases, but each one is complete. And that is true of our Nimpo Kempo Kobujutsu as well. We hope you will like and subscribe, ring the bell to receive notifications as new videos come out. Above all, talk to us. Ask questions about what you're seeing, challenge it, go to our website. You'll be able to do that there. We would love to interface with you and hear what you think. Thanks.